Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin with Steve Hatherley in the studio. Hello, Steve.
Hello. Thanks for having me back. Great to see you again.
Great to have you in the studio. Quick question. You speak 3 different languages.
I do.
What triggered you into learning those languages? Is there a specific reason or...
Which languages do I speak?
In my memory, English,
Yeah.
which is your native language.
Yeah.
I think basic needs for food and stuff triggered you into learning that.
That's true.
And then we've got Korean.
Oh, yes.
And Canadian people speak French.
Yes.
So what about those?
Yeah. Korean, English, and maybe a tiny bit of French. So what was your question? Why did I want to learn them? Well, English, I wasn't really a want. It's just, grew up in Canada. Korean, I was inspired to learn Korean. I don't know. My coworkers, when I was living in Korea for my first year, were from other countries, not from Korea. And they were significantly older than I was, and they had been in Korea for a long time, but yet they couldn't speak Korean, and they would always talk about it, like, oh, I can't speak Korean, ha ha ha, I can't speak Korean. And I thought, I don't want to be like that, where I live in a country for a long time and don't bother to try to learn the language. So that's what inspired me to start learning. Korean, you can learn to read Korean in about 2 hours. It's really, really easy to learn. But the thing is, you don't know what you're reading, right?
You should be teaching me Korean, by the way.
Yeah, I can if you like. Yeah, sure. But don't get me wrong. No offense to those people who didn't learn, but because when you live in a foreign country, sometimes you don't know how long you're going to be there, right? And it's very easy for 1 year to turn into 10 years all of a sudden. Also, there's a tremendous amount of time that you need to invest and money and energy. Maybe not money so much anymore with the internet, but yeah, energy and time. So a lot of people don't have the time nor the energy, and they don't realize that they're going to be staying in a place for a very long time. But yeah, that's what inspired me to learn Korean.
And now you're learning Chinese because you're here.
Gosh, but it's the things that I just talked about. It's the finding time and finding energy, isn't it? To try to fit it into your schedule, which is why Takeaway Chinese is such a great benefit to me, because I'm here with you and I can learn whilst I'm still in the office.
Yes, and actually people all around the world are learning languages for different reasons.
Yeah, what about you? You speak multiple languages as well.
Not so much. I speak Chinese and English, tiny little Cantonese.
Oh, wow.
It was just for fun.
Yeah.
And it's getting less and less fun and more challenging.
The deeper into the lessons that you go.
Yes.
Oh, well, maybe we can have a mini conversation in French someday.
Oh, really, really mini. But the thing is, I realized that previously for English, I learned it in school. And for Cantonese, it's not that difficult because it's not that far away from Mandarin. Yet for French, it's purely for curiosity, because of curiosity.
Yeah, just for fun.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
And I don't see myself using it. I don't see myself living in France or in Canadian French-speaking area. Yet I just find learning a language fun.
Yeah. I found the biggest benefit to learning another language. See, for me, I learned French, but I didn't live in a French-speaking area. Nova Scotia in Canada has a certain percentage of French citizens, but it's quite small. So I grew up in an entirely English environment. So when I learned to speak Korean, that was the first time that I had learned a foreign language or a second language or a third language and been in the environment of the language that I was learning. So that was a totally different experience, right? And what I discovered was that the greatest benefit to learning the language was not just knowing the words. It was being able to interact with Korean people on a whole other level, because you can get by with like piecing together English words with Korean words and deliver your point, right? But when you can actually converse with someone in their language, I mean, just the way they treat you changes. I'm not saying that they treat you poorly before that, but it's just a different level of communication. It's a different level of understanding. It's a different level of potential friendship. It's just different. It's just different.
It's a very powerful tool. It's beyond just language. And that is why when it comes to learning Chinese, we also occasionally, once a while, wanted to know why people around the world are learning Chinese. And we did a little survey on the internet. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about how netizens and friends all around the world reply to these questions. And we want to also talk a little bit about how the Chinese language actually evolved through time. New words emerged and fun expressions happen on the internet first and then moves slowly or really quickly into the society, into daily conversations.
Yeah, question about Chinese, and I wonder if it's similar to the other languages that I learned. When you watch, for example, a historical Chinese drama, is the style of speaking totally different from how people use the language today?
It's funny that you should ask because ancient Chinese language is really different from modern language.
Yeah.
Too different that if you use the exact ancient language to, let's say, make a TV show or movie, people won't be able to understand fully.
Oh, it's that different.
It's that different, which is why we learn about ancient Chinese language. We call it 古汉语 or 古文.
古文?
Yes, 古 meaning ancient, and 文 is passage 文章 or 文字 words, and 古汉语 is ancient Hanyu, ancient Chinese language. And we learn about those in primary schools, middle schools, high schools, and if you are a Chinese major, you would most definitely learn it in universities as well. Yet, we do not use that language in historic TV shows. However, the style of speaking, if it's a really good production team, if they want to respect that period, there is this elegant and historic and also cultured way of speaking. So you can still sense certain words and certain expressions. It can be much more elegant than what we used to speak these days, but it's definitely not ancient Chinese.
Yeah, I guess English is kind of the same. For example, if you read Geoffrey Chaucer or even Shakespeare.
Shakespeare
right?
as well,
Shakespeare is
yes.
a good example. Native English speakers can read Shakespeare and not understand what's going on, right? There's some similarities there, but there are plenty of differences too. So yeah, I kind of get what you're talking about. It's something that you kind of have to learn, but you don't really have to learn it unless you have some interest.
Yes, but if those of you who are learning Chinese want to have a taste of, I don't know, ancient Chinese, if you're at that level, definitely it's something very different. But
it would probably be like the final step in your Chinese language learning rather than the first step.
Exactly. But for those of you who are interested in Chinese culture and for those of you who want to get a grip on the Chinese language, then this is a show for you. Stick with us for 30 minutes and you soon see the rewards. And for more fun Chinese learning, follow our Facebook page, Learn Chinese, to watch many fun videos and live streams. But now let's see what are some replies of the question, why do you want to learn Chinese? We published this question on multiple social media platforms and we're going to keep asking that question. So if you're interested in answering it, if you want to share your Chinese learning stories with us, you can find Niu Chinese or send your answers to Learn Chinese Facebook page. That's CRI Learn Chinese Facebook page. And also you can just comment under Takeaway Chinese.
I'll answer this question first because I talked about French and Korean before. I want to learn Chinese because I'm here, which is kind of in line with what I had spoken about before. And I see plenty of other expats around and I watch them, right? Because I'm curious, how good is your Chinese? How not good is your Chinese?
Some are very good at Chinese speaking.
I'm shocked, actually. Yeah. And
then, I'm shocked.
And then you go on television and you see like videos online and they might as well be Chinese people. I swear their Chinese is so good. But yeah, so I see them interact and that kind of gives me a little bit of hope, I guess. Hope isn't really the right word, but for lack of a better word,
Confidence?
in a sense,
Yeah, in a
because
sense.
because even though I don't know how long they've been in the country, because I don't know who they are, but I still see that they can do it, right? And internationally, I think Mandarin's known to be one of the most difficult languages in the world to learn. But when I see people who have learned it and they're using it, then that kind of inspires me and gives me a little bit, confidence might be the right word, that I can do it myself too.
You definitely can do it. And what are some answers we've got from our friends online?
Well, let's check first with Dania. I hope I'm saying your name correctly, Dania. Dania Grimaldi. Dania says, because I dream of traveling to China, so it would be great to be able to speak a little Mandarin.
Sure.
Because I'm fond of Chinese dramas, and also because Chinese history and culture fascinate me a lot.
This is actually multiple answers. So traveling in China would be 来中国旅行. So come to China, 旅行, traveling.
旅行.
旅行. So 旅 carries the meaning of going to foreign or strange places. And the 行 is just to walk around or move around. So 旅行. 旅行, the word means travel, to travel around.
旅行.
Yes, 旅行. 我想去旅行. I'd like to go travel instead of working all the time.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's a great reason. Also, fond of Chinese dramas.
Ooh, yes.
So many people learn a foreign language through TV shows or sitcoms or dramas or films or what have you. It's just such a great way to do it, right?
The funny thing about the word drama in Chinese is that now, if you talk about Chinese dramas, I would assume you're talking about TV series. And TV series in Chinese would be 电视剧.
电视剧.
Yes, 电视 is television. 剧 is just a series of shows. So a drama.
Television shows.
Television shows. 电视剧.
剧.
However, the direct translation of drama is 戏剧.
戏剧.
Yes, 戏剧 is, again, the direct translation of drama. Yet, 戏剧in today's China actually means those kind of stage shows more. So if you say, well, 去看戏, I'd like to go see a drama.
Like a theater performance?
Like a theater performance. It can be a dancing drama. It can be a 话剧. 话剧 meaning just a stage show. And 舞台剧, stage show, literally. And also we're talking about 歌剧, so a singing drama or, singing performance. So if you talk about 看戏 in today's China, people would understand you're going to a theater.
But
yet,
电视剧 is
TV shows. Yeah,
TV dramas. Okay.
So I think, yes, we understand that translating is really simple in these days because of technology. But you still need to know these little nuances because Chinese dramas would be easily translated to 中国戏剧. But I think Dania actually means Chinese TV shows.
Probably, right?
Yeah.
And also the point about Chinese history and culture, you have an interest in that too, Dania. Yeah. And now I'm learning more about that as well. It's really quite funny, right? Because now that I'm here and I'm starting now to ask a lot of questions. And I'm starting to ask questions that even my Chinese coworkers don't know the answer to.
Yes,
and
you do that a lot.
And it totally makes sense because if you asked me anything about Canadian history, I wouldn't know the answer, of course. But I'm so curious and I'm starting to ask a lot of questions these days. And being here, Dania, in Beijing, 3,000-year-old city, it's just non-stop history, non-stop culture, centuries of it. Oh, a quick question.
Sure.
Going back to historic language and when it changed. So at the end of the 1800s and the beginning of the 1900s, you had the final dynasty in China, right? You had the Ming Dynasty, and then after the Ming Dynasty was the Qing Dynasty?
Qing Dynasty.
Qing Dynasty was the last one, right?
Yes, the last feudal dynasty here in China.
And that was around 1911 or so when that finished up. Is that when language started to change from a historic kind or a historic style into a more modern day style? Or my question is, when did that shift occur?
Oh, to start with, the changing of language styles has always been there. So it has been evolving with time passing by, for sure. Yet, during that period of time, there was a movement of allowing people to speak essentially an easier language. So if you know ancient Chinese is more difficult to understand because it includes a lot of allusions. It includes a lot of historic backgrounds. And also it's actually quite dense with just one or two syllables. It carries more meanings. So it was kind of like a privilege for those highly educated. But during that period of time, scholars wanted to make sure, ordinary people would be able to speak for sure, but it's hard for them to write, to be literate. And that is why during those period of time, there was this kind of a movement allowing people to speak easier language and to use easier language in writing as well.
That must have been a controversial time.
Definitely.
Right? Because the scholars would have thought, how can you do this to such a beautiful language? Why are you dumbing it down?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But actually, if you really think about it, allowing more people to be able to read, write, and to express their ideas not only through spoken language, but also through forms of publication, that highly improved the level of intelligence, of education, of the literary level of the entire society. So that was quite an important move, I believe.
Interesting.
Yes. And moving on to some other interesting answers, we have a friend, Mstislav
Skorabogatov.
Thank you. That is really hard to pronounce, but thank you. And
that was my best effort. I apologize if that was wrong too. This comment says, the most ancient nation in the world, huge respect, window to eternity. That's the answer to the question, why do you want to learn Chinese? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good answer. And actually, many answers echo that opinion. For instance, we have Stefan saying Chinese culture is vast and better to understand through the language lenses. So again, having interest in culture. And also we have Melissa saying, I love everything about China. Its culture, its history, food, ancient poetry, nature, beautiful cities, entertainment, drama fan again, and its bold ideas for the future. Learning Mandarin seems daunting, but essential to love the country.
Daunting is a good word, Melissa. You've hit the nail on the head there. Challenging. But yeah, it is a beautiful language in a beautiful country with beautiful cities and a rich, deep culture. All the things that you just said are very, very true.
Yeah, but for those who are learning Chinese, it's easy for you, or it's obvious for you. If you are lucky enough to be the one who's learning a language and then traveling to the country, you might already realize that the language that you learned from textbooks are quite different from the language people are actually using.
Of course, it's the easiest example of English in English is the it's raining cats and dogs.
Yes, I was thinking about that too.
Yeah, nobody says that. But every English textbook has that expression, right? It's raining cats and dogs. It's raining cats and dogs. Of course, everybody knows what it means, but you don't hear people say that so much anymore.
I think a textbook Chinese I can think of is 马马虎虎.
马马虎虎.
Yes, so it's 马 is the horse. 虎 is tiger.
Yeah.
But 马马虎虎, putting together to start with, you should pronounce it as 马马虎虎.
马马虎虎.
And
what's the hu part?
虎 tiger. It's the tiger character.
Oh, horse, tiger.
Horse, tiger. But actually it means meh. It's like just so. It's not that precise. It's basically, I'm getting by kind of feeling. So if you say 你最近怎么样, how are you these days? And if the reply is 马马虎虎, it's like, it's okay.
So do people say that?
It's just so. The thing is, people still understand it greatly, but I haven't heard anybody using it for at least 10 years.
So wait, what if Chinese...
It's definitely not wrong. And I won't even be that surprised if people say 马马虎虎 to me. It's like, it's still okay. It's not ancient language. It's not something that grandpa would say. It's not like that. It's just, it's not common anymore.
马马虎虎.
马马虎虎. It's okay.
Okay, I'm going to start using that one.
You should use that one. It's not a bad one. Yet it's a textbook Chinese.
Sure, but it sounds cute too, doesn't it? 马马虎虎.
Yeah.
How you doing? 马马虎虎.
just okay.
Yeah, right.
And I think now a more popular answer would be 还行.
还行.
还行. So 还 is still, 行 is okay. So it's just okay. It's not really great, but it's not bad. It's okay.
还行.
还行.
Just okay.
Just okay.
So here's a language culture question. In English, it's quite commonly known that, when you ask someone, how are you, you're not really supposed to answer the question honestly. How are you? Hey, how are you? Terrible. Right. It's not a cultural,
No.
right. Just lie. Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Thanks. But a Swedish friend of mine once asked, hey, how you doing? And I said, yeah, good, thanks. They said, oh, really? Seems like not so good. And they explained to me, I don't know, this was just what they said. In Swedish culture, when someone asks, how are you? They are truly asking, how are you? So to answer in a negative way is completely acceptable. So I wanted to ask that about Chinese language culture. If someone asks, how you doing? Is it just kind of the way English goes? Like you just answer, yeah, good, thanks, even if you're having a terrible day?
I think it depends on who's asking. If it's a close friend, you can share your true feelings.
Coworkers. Coworkers that you're not really that close to.
No, just
right?
say it's okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
So you're right. It's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
And a possible, yet not very probable answer would be 非常棒.
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 It means excellent.
Oh, nice. 非常.
Nobody answers that.
Oh, really? Stop. You're teaching me plenty of things nobody says. This is great.
But you can use it for other occasions. For example, if you're in a restaurant.
How was the food?
How was the food? You can say 非常棒. It's really great. And also, if you're having a new beverage and you want to recommend that beverage to your friend, you can say 这个非常棒. This is really good. I highly recommend. So it's really just really good. 非常means very, and good. 棒 is good. And this is also a textbook Chinese, but it's the kind of textbook Chinese that are actually right.
But when people ask, how are you doing today? Nobody usually answers 非常棒.
Do you say that in English?
Hey, how are you doing today? Yeah, excellent, thank you. If you're in a really good mood, I guess that would be okay. It's not that common, perhaps.
I think it's because 非常棒, even we translate it as very good, really great, it actually is kind of like 99% to perfect kind of great. It's too great. And another too great Chinese is 绝绝子.
绝绝子.
绝.
绝.
绝 is a Chinese character. It's like, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And 绝绝子is kind of like an online slang. It's the kind of word that you only started to use in these couple of years here in the Chinese society. Yet it is used to describe absolute great. It's amazing. It's incredible. It is the best. So if you're recommending something to your friends,
like
again,
takeaway Chinese.
Yes, you say, you have to try this 绝绝子.
绝绝子.
Yes.
绝绝子.
绝绝子.
Takeaway Chinese.
绝绝子.
How do you say is in Chinese?
Oh, you don't. You don't say it unless it's a noun. Is a noun, like a horse is an animal, kind of is.
Yeah.
Then you say 是.
Okay.
But if you want to say the animal is cute, so noun is adjective, then you don't say the is.
So the literal translation to English would be like horse cute.
Horse cute or horse very cute.
Got it. So takeaway Chinese, 绝绝子.
Yes, takeaway Chinese, 绝绝子.
There you go. You got a new slogan for the show.
Also, I think these are the kind of words that 农人 would like to use.
Who?
Thick people.
Thick?
Thick.
What do you mean thick people?
Thick is...
Stupid?
No, thick is the kind of, it's dense. So for example, if it's coffee and you put in multiple shots, then it's heavy and thick.
Yeah.
But if you put in just half a shot and a lot of milk, for example, it would be thin, it'll be light. It'll be less strong. Again, this is also internet slang, but people use it in daily life. That is 农人和淡人. So 农人 would be that very enthusiastic about everything, have strong opinions, and also would express them in a very enthusiastic way kind of people, whereas 淡人, the light people, so thick people and thin people or light people.
Oh, I
the
see.
light people would be, they do not care about a lot of things,
But
and they have lighter reactions.
Enthusiastic Chinese learners would be excited to use these types of terms.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a challenging thing too when you are learning a second language. That happened to me a lot in Korea. You start to feel pretty confident about your language skills, and then all of a sudden you're talking with a young person, like 19 years old, and there's like 30 words in 5 sentences that you don't recognize because of like newly coined terms. It happens in every single language, doesn't
But
it?
these newly coined terms are also very fun, and they can be very vivid if you think about it. If you're drawing a picture, for example, you're using these very bright colors to draw a person, and then these people in your pictures would appear very bright, very colorful, very overwhelming even somehow. Yet, if you're using the very light colors, you blend your paint with a lot of water or even sometimes some whites in it, then you draw this person. Then this person would look quite light
Yeah, that's true.
and relaxing.
That's
And
true.
that is a really fun way to describe people with different personalities. 浓人 and 淡人. And besides that,
Is it insulting to call?
no, not at all.
Okay.
It's perfectly neutral.
Yeah.
And people would try to fit them into these different categories. And when it comes to different categories, there are also other new ways, because some traditional ways of addressing introvert and extrovert, for example, introverts would be 内向.
内向.
So 内 is inward, and 向 is kind of like towards.
Okay.
So you would like to most occasionally turn inwards. You want to spend more time with yourself. You want to find the answers from within. Then you're 内向 introvert.
内向.
Yes, whereas extrovert would be, or extroverted people, 外向.
外向.
Yes, 外向.
向.
Yes.
外向.
We know 向 is direction, so you're directed to the outer space, the outer area. You like to spend more time with people. You like to find energy in socializing with others. You like to find maybe answers through asking your friends or having a conversation with more people. So that's 外向, extroverted. These are perfectly fine. You can still use them. Yet, people now have a lot of different ways to introduce themselves when it comes to personality. For example, a very popular pair of online slang would be 社恐 and 社牛.
社恐 and
社牛.
社牛.
It's very funny. Okay, so 恐 means 恐惧, afraid of.
Okay.
And 社 means 社交, socializing.
Afraid of socializing.
Exactly.
Introverts.
Yes, introverts. And it's even short for 社交恐惧症. So it's even worse than just afraid of socializing. It's social anxiety disorder.
Yeah.
It's like I have a phobia, and my phobia is towards socializing.
社恐. So then is this something that you can say to
Definitely.
someone? Oh.
It's not a clinic
not
diagnose.
Right.
No, it's just a little bit exaggerating way of describing the situation. Because again, everybody can be a 社恐 at certain occasion and a 社牛 on other occasions. So it's not a fixed state. You can even say 我社恐发作. So I am having a panic attack because of this social situation. So, and 社牛, we've already mentioned it. It means someone is socially awesome. It's socially awesome syndrome.
Socially awesome
Because,
syndrome.
Yes, because 牛 carries the meaning of really good at something. So 社牛 is like this person is really good at socializing with others.
Oh, so they're does this mean that they're quite socially talented?
Yes, and they enjoy socializing quite so much.
Oh, so this isn't about, they're super energetic and super happy all the time. It's more about their ability to get along with other people.
Yes. So I guess 社牛 is still a tiny little bit different than 外向, than extroverted.
Yeah.
But still, you get the gist how language can evolve and can have different ways, or let's say cover different groups of meanings.
So 外向 is extrovert. 内向 is introvert.
Yes.
What's ambivert?
Ah.
Ambivert is, in English, it means half and half. Half introvert, half extrovert. Or sometimes introverted, sometimes extroverted. Do you have a word for that in
We
Chinese?
do not have a word for that. But actually, it reminds me of another way of describing introverted and extroverted people. That is ，I 人 and 艺人。
I and E, introvert, extrovert?
Yes, and 人 is just person. And from that angle, you have ambivert people. That is 爱意。
IE.
And IE is a browser. That is why some people would say, I am a browser personality. But that actually means IE. So I'm sometimes introvert and sometimes extrovert.
And that's easy to remember because that's just the first letters in English of the two words.
So different ways, and Chinese is
that's fun.
definitely evolving.
That's cool.
That is super cool. And these are only some examples we have to showcase how come this language is getting more and more trendy and actually quite interesting. And as you can see, 爱人 and 艺人, the language is also communicating with other languages and merging and creating new words. And that is the fun of learning Chinese.
100% true.
And that brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin with Steve here in the studio. For more episodes of the show, you can visit our website at radio.cgtn.com and go to the column podcast. You can also listen to the show and read the script there. Find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Just search for Takeaway Chinese. Don't forget to leave your questions, comments, and ratings. 感谢收听，我们下次再见。
Takeaway Chinese. 这。
Yes, 绝子。